Good morning. I hope you're all doing really well this morning. I'm happy. I'm always happy when we're building something. We are closing in my porch, making a sunroom, which is going to be really excited. I love it. Exciting. I love it. And then we decided to go ahead and put in a deck. So they're working on the deck today. The sunroom has been framed in. Now we're waiting for 8 windows to arrive and 1 glass door. And then I've got paint colors picked out. A lot of people say that's very stressful for them when they're remodeling or painting but actually that is so relaxing for me. Just to be out there measuring off where we want it, how big we want it, where we want the steps to be, how wide the steps should be, how wide I want the windows. Sound like I'm from the South, don't I? How wide we want the windows. Hey, Bobette, how are you? Anyway, I'm having fun. I love doing it. But I wanted to talk to y'all today. I'm going to go through the site and I'm going to look at some wreaths and talk about those. I'm going to answer some questions. And if you read the post, you all know that Shelly started her new job this week. I'm not letting her get away from me though. She's my niece. I know where to go find her. She's still going to be consulting and doing a lot of things to help us. But Bernita and I are going to, thank you, Bobette. She said, I look wonderful. I don't know if I do or not. I've been out there in the sawdust. Bernita and I are going to hold a Facebook Live together next Tuesday at 2 o'clock in this group. We're going to start really diving in more to Facebook. I know I've stressed Facebook to y'all before, but it is so important. I'm just going to keep pushing it and keep pushing it because that is where you can build your business. Hi, Cindy. Do you know that I was looking at the Google Analytics on my websites yesterday, and I knew it was way on up there, but 98% of the people who come to my website, and it's anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 a day, 98% of those come from Facebook, from my Facebook page to ladybugwreaths.com or to nancysinnercircle.com. Now, those are unbelievable numbers. I really want you to grasp the fact that you've got to spend time in Facebook. You've got to post in Facebook several times a day. I say 4 to 6 times a day if you're starting out. But as the number of likes that you have start growing, you're going to need to post even more often than that. And we talked some, the last time I did a Facebook Live, we talked some about you doing a Facebook Live. And several of you did your own. You posted some of them. You did some of them in the group. Well, actually, I guess you did them on your page. And you can share them to the group. I haven't seen a single one that was not really good. Even the ones of you who are just starting out. Now, I don't have a copy of it, but the first time I started doing something like this, you would have been laughing at me. I'm not kidding. I was probably sitting up really straight like this, and I was afraid to move, and I was afraid to look away, but yet I have my notes on the monitor right in front of me. So I was trying to look down really quickly and read my notes and look back up at y'all and smile. And look back down really quickly and read my notes. You don't have to do that. This is Facebook Live. This is your life as it happens. They're out there sawing wood. They're laying off our deck. They're putting the, whatever it is, around the outside of it. They may come in and at any minute and say, hey, Nancy, I've got a question. I told them it's okay. This is Facebook Live. We don't have to be so stiff and formal and precise. They just want to see you. They want to hear you talk the way you talk to your friend next door, your friend that lives across the street, your best friend at church. Think about how you talk to them. You are yourself. So when you do a Facebook Live, I want to see yourself. I don't want to see that person that you're not. And you're doing good. You're all doing that. I want you to understand it's no big deal. People know that you can't stage everything and do everything perfectly when you're doing it live. And if even the ones that I do ahead of time, I used to go back. If I cleared my throat, I would put it in this program to clip out the part where I cleared my throat or coughed or there was a noise or my dog barked. That is not necessary. Don't do it. Don't make them. Oh, there's 2 more trucks coming up in my driveway with wood. Don't make the mistakes that I made. I want you to be you, because you are pretty, you're nice, you're smart, you're intelligent, you are entrepreneurs, or you wouldn't be here right now. And I'm so very, very honored to be able to teach you and talk to you and encourage you and share in your successes. So Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, you'll need to check your time zone. And there's always a lot of questions about that. If you don't know, Google it. Say, what is 2 p.m. Eastern Time for Central Time? Or that's not the way you word it, but whatever. I'm always Googling time zones because I get confused a lot. We're going to go back to the basics of Facebook. Just start from the very beginning, and we're going to spend about 6 weeks, the rest of the month of May and June, really diving in much deeper to Facebook. But I've realized you need to know a lot of the beginner stuff. Some of the stuff that we just kind of assumed that a lot of people knew, you don't always. So we want to cover it all. We've got Shelly's training that's still in here, and it's excellent training. I've been running Facebook ads. I keep them running all the time. I probably run 4, 6, 8 ads or boosted posts all the time. And I've got most of my boosted posts down to where they cost me like 0.002 cents or one of them was 0.000 cents, which is less than a 0.001 cent. But we're going to get into that too. I want you to know how to grow and boost your business. Now, there's been another question, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to go to the Q&As in a minute, and it's in there. Someone's wanting to upset and worried about how to set up their web pages. Y'all, I have a website. I've had a website for years. Hey, Lana, glad you joined us. I've had a website for years. So ask yourself this question: why do I still sell on Etsy? Sure, I've got stuff on my Facebook page under products, and I sell some from there, but I'm telling you, most of my sales come from Etsy. When I was making wreaths, which I don't really have much time to do anymore, but I've got some I'm going to list soon. Anyway, you can send them to your Etsy shop from your Facebook page. You don't have to send them to your website like I've done. I'm sending them 3 different places. My Etsy shop, ladybugwreaths.com, and nancysinnercircle.com. And then I have my Etsy shop set up on my Facebook page. They click to shop, and they can see everything that I have in Etsy. They can click and see my Pinterest pages. And when you're writing a list of description for a photo of something you're putting in Pinterest, if you write it and say the cost of this wreath is $5 and put that's a bad example, $65, put a dollar sign in front of it, Pinterest picks that up and they put a little corner banner on your photo to show that it's for sale. So I don't want y'all flipping out about websites right now. As a matter of fact, I don't want you to worry about websites. I don't want that to be your first priority. Starting right now today, I want to zoom in really tightly on Facebook. And then after that, we're going to zoom in really tightly on Etsy shops. But Facebook is more important. So that's why we're doing it first. That's why we're going to spend a lot more time on it. So let me pull over the Inner Circle Facebook page. Hello, Patsy. Good to see you. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to keep drinking while I'm talking, because not only do we have a lot of pollen out there, but I was standing out there yesterday while they were cutting a tree and grinding it up, and then they're sawing wood, and we've got sawdust everywhere. And I was just sitting out on the porch, just happy as I could be, and then I suddenly realized, ugh, I had this awful taste in my mouth, and it was like sawdust. So now it's affecting my throat today. Okay, that's all you need to know about the throat, right? Okay. So I've got the Q&A open where y'all were posting some of your questions. Now, sometimes when I see your question come in, I might just answer it right there. Sometimes I hold it back for one of these Facebook Live videos because I think we need to discuss it. A lot of these, I'm not going to go over them twice. If I've answered you under the Q&A, I may not bring it up when we're on our call, because I want to cover as much as I can, and I want to cover stuff that will help as many people as possible. Okay, so Barbara Messina, am I saying that correctly? She wants us to look at her Etsy shop because she says she was selling and then all of a sudden she's not. And she thinks it's something that she's done or hasn't done. So you can't see it. That's one thing about using Facebook Live. You can't share your screen just yet, but that will be coming very soon. So I'm glancing at some of your wreaths, Barbara, and you've had a lot of sales. I see some, you've got some admirers. Let's see. You said your sales were slowly increasing over the last month. Now it's come to a halt. Well, one thing that happens this time every year, sales slow down because of the time of year. People have children who are fixing to get out of school in just a couple of weeks. They're planning their vacations. They're saving money for their vacations. And something like a wreath is an extravagant thing for a lot of them that they don't feel like they can do year-round. And you're going to find different seasons are going to affect your sales greatly. Now, I see a few prices that for this time of year might be a little bit high. Now, I know I'm telling y'all all the time you need to price it what it's worth, and you do. But you also need to be prepared to lower your prices a little bit during seasons like spring when school's almost out. Maybe I'm missing it, but I don't see an about page filled out on your Etsy shop. And I'm looking, and I don't see a photo of you. We talked about that before. You need to get your face up there, your smiling face. And then you need to do the about section. And you're going to have to adjust your wreath prices up and down, according to the season. So you need to try that. Oh, I see a little further down. I'm sorry, where we did talk about that already. And you said you were going to set up your about page. That's really good. Now, Susan, I don't know if I'm going to say your name right, your last name. Kapamokia. I hope that's right. If it's not, I apologize. You're wanting a timetable of how early to start posting seasonal items. Now, I did respond to that a little bit. When you have a lot of wreaths in your Etsy shop and you think, well, I should probably slow down a little bit because I'm working on spring, early summer wreaths right now, and I may not be able to sell all of those without marking them down to half price when fall comes. When you are caught up, that's when you need to start working on the next season. Doesn't matter what time of year it is. If you've got a lot of spring and summer wreaths and you've already done some fall wreaths, you could start on Christmas. There's no timetable that I can give you. It depends on how many wreaths you have made up, how fast they're selling, how busy you think you're going to be this spring and this summer. I'd look back at my calendar from last year, if you sold last year, and you should have kept a notebook or a calendar telling you how many you were selling at that particular time. And if you didn't, you're going to have to go back in your Etsy history and look and see what you sold during the spring months and look and see what you sold during the summer months. And you can make a few more than you did last year that you were able to sell quickly and make money on. But after that, go on to the next season and start making some. It's hard to switch over from seasons if you have, say, if this is the summer and you've got all your fall and Christmas stuff boxed away somewhere. So you're going to have some of each season out where you can get to it for times like this. So right now, I would have some fall stuff pulled out in my shop. I would have some of my fall ribbon out, and I would have some of my fall flowers. Okay. Constance asks, is there a particular type of boost that is proven to get more likes on Facebook? Well, boosting a post is not the same thing as running a like ad on Facebook. You have to actually go into the ads manager to run a like ad. Boosting a post will get more attention to whatever you're boosting, to your photo, to your item that you're selling, or whatever it is. And you will probably get some likes from that, but to run a specific like ad, you don't do that with a boosted post. You do that in Ads Manager and run a like ad, and we'll get into all that. But I want you to be boosting some, when you put up a really pretty photo of a wreath, boost it. Find an audience. We're going to talk about that too. I won't get into that too much today. Start paying attention to the ages of the people who buy from you. If they're over 55, say you would want to reach an audience that's 55 plus. Or if they're 40 to 60, you can do 40 to 60. You can put the age ranges in your boosted posts. And you're going to have to come up with a criteria of people, what they like, the ones that buy from you, what they like. Do they like home decor? Do they like decorating their house? Do they like arts and crafts? Are they doing their own arts and crafts? Do they like Southern Living magazine? Do they like Country Living magazine? There's a lot of things you have to ask yourself to figure out what criteria you use when reaching people with an ad or a boosted post. We're going to talk about that too. Now, let's see if there's any other questions I want to go over. Well, Barbara Messina was saying she has an Etsy shop she opened in 2014. And she wants to optimize it. Well, we've got the Etsy training in there in the Inner Circle website, Barbara. And we're going to focus on that a lot after we go through some intense training with Facebook. In the meantime, you can go into the Etsy Intensives training through Inner Circle, www.nancysinnercircle.com. Click on some of the links for Etsy, and you need to start going through those videos. There's one thing that I've learned. I pay for coaching and I pay for help all the time, but they are not going to tell me everything. I have to take the time, and I schedule some time every day to listen to videos, to listen to training, to go over some PDFs. It would be really nice if someone just sat down with us one-on-one and told us everything to do, but it's not going to really help you that much because you need to learn it. So go through some of the Etsy videos. If you need to learn something about Etsy before we really focus intensely on it, I want you to start going through the videos and some of the training. And I don't mean to sound harsh about that. That's to help you. It's really important that you set aside some time every day that is your learning time, your training time. And we've got lots of training available to you in the Inner Circle. Let's see. Now, while I'm going through this Q&A, if you have any questions, you can post them because I'll see them down the side of my screen. I'm going to look at them in a few minutes. Susan says she's struggling with photos. Photos are critical. You can make the most gorgeous wreath in the world, and if you don't have a good photo of it, it may not sell. You may have it priced right, and if they saw it in person, they would grab it up and run. But if you don't show that in your photo, it's not going to sell as quickly. Now, It's one thing I learned from my niece Shelley while she was here. I had a lot of apps on my iPad and my iPhone, and I would still put a lot of my wreaths into Photoshop to edit them. And a lot of times I'd look behind me, I'd see little Shelley over there with her. She's got a big computer with a big monitor, much bigger than ours. And she was sitting there doing this with her phone and doing this and doing this. So what are you doing? I'm editing that photo, that wreath. I said, well, why don't you do it on Facebook? I mean, not Facebook, on Photoshop or Canva or one of these programs that I have on all of our computers. She said, because some of these apps on your phone, you can edit much quicker. Let's see. Much quicker than you can on your computer. Hold on a minute. I gotta get my iPad. Scooting around today. I want to call out some apps to you that if you have an iPad, I'd like for you to get it on your iPad. Oops, this is the wrong one. I've got two of them in the same color case. That's not good. Let me see if I can find it real quick for you. I'm coming. Okay, I'm going to call out some to you, and you can write these down, or you can get a piece of paper. WordSwag, WordSwag is a really good one. Animoto, I've used that for the videos that just scroll through when you've got music playing in the background. There's an app for that now. You can get Adobe Capture, which is, Photoshop is an Adobe program, but Adobe Capture and Adobe Spark are apps for your iPad or your iPhone. They work really good. Let's see. Color Story is really good. Aviary. Now, a lot of these you'd be surprised how quickly and easily you can lighten and brighten a photo and make it show up so much better. Motion Stills, Adobe Capture, Moments. Okay, I'm not going to waste any more time searching for those. I'm going to give you a list of those because I want you to get those on your iPad or your iPhone. And an iPad would help because you can edit a lot on there without having to look. Actually, I have two phones. I have a little one that I carry with me and a bigger one that I use for my photos and my videos. But Shelley was doing everything she did on her little tiny phone. You don't have to. It's easier for me to do it on my bigger phone or on my iPad. Okay, I got on a rabbit trail there, I'm sorry. But you can edit your photos a lot easier than even I was doing it. I learned a lesson from Shelley. Okay, that is all of the questions we're going to go over in the under Q&A. Now I'm going to go back. I'm going to look at some other posts. Excuse me. Betty Cunningham has a beautiful wreath up there today. I like the ribbons, really pretty colors. They all go well together. But I responded to her a few minutes ago. She needs I don't know if you know this or not, the wide ribbon is number 40. The more narrow is number 9. So she needs to mix some number 9 ribbons with her number 40s. It just flows, it just looks better to mix and not use all wide ribbon if you're using several ribbons. Now, Sharon Foster. She said she's watched me in my Deco Mesh video, and she has seen me just sticking some of my flowers into my Deco Mesh. There are some flowers that on the plastic stems, they have little bitty short little plastic things sticking out. And actually you can buy some really short stem flowers, a real pretty head of a flower and a little short stem with no leaves. You can buy those at Sims. And those stems have the look like little stickers sticking out, but they all point in one direction. If you stick those through your Deco Mesh, those little things, feelers or whatever that are sticking out, grab the Deco Mesh and you can try to pull it back out and you can't get it out. Sometimes I've used some of those where I can just stick right through the Deco Mesh. I usually try to stick a lot of my stems of flowers into the Deco Mesh, not between it, or I just hold the Deco Mesh with one hand and try to stick it in. Then I use my stapler a lot, and it's, I need to put the link back up again. It's like a plier stapler. They don't make the exact one like mine anymore, but there are several on Amazon. I've ordered a couple of them and they work really good. And I always put glue in there too. But honestly, I've watched them making their Deco Mesh wreaths at Sims Pottery, and they've got it down to a science. She doesn't even use a glue gun, or very rarely. She might use it for ribbon or something else, and keep the little twist ties on your base that you're tying in your Deco Mesh. Don't twist them so much that they're twisted all up and you don't have any little pieces sticking back out, because you can also use those to twist around your flowers after you're through getting your Deco Mesh in. Okay. And a lot of people use zip ties, short zip ties. I've never used those. I have some here. I started to one day, but the way I've been doing it's been working fine. But Pam Washburn says she uses zip ties a lot. Carissa's got her Facebook Live up there. Yay, Carissa. You did an excellent job. Good for you. I'm getting notices from vendors about all of their sales. These are ones that I have accounts with that I put in my secret vendor list. So we put one up there already saying that Shay's Wildflowers is having a Memorial 10-day sale. I'm going to start posting those up here because you may not have set up accounts with them yet. And you should do that. You should go through the secret vendor list and set up your accounts with every one of them. And it'll take a little time, but it's worth it. Then you'll be notified every time they have sales. But we're going to start posting some of the ones that I get in the inner circle too. Now, got a cute flip-flop wreath on there that Shannon did. She got real creative. That's great. Constance says she wanted to step out of her comfort zone, and she did a beach-themed wreath, and that's really cute. It's got a lighthouse and starfish and shells. Yeah, and some looks like some seaweed type stuff. Beach wreaths are really popular. Yay for Constance. She finally sold her first wreath. She said, I got so many favorites on it, but it was still sitting there in my Etsy shop. Well, it's gone now. Praise the Lord. Yay. We're happy for you, Constance. Good for you. Janet is wanting us to look at her Etsy page. She said she's got different backgrounds. Some are white with shadows. Now, Janet, there's one thing I noticed right off the bat when I looked at your wreath. You're using, I don't know what you're using to whiten your background, but you need to use some kind of a program first that's going to lighten your wreath. And you were trying to cut into the details around the wreath and make everything stark white. I don't know if you've watched the videos yet about how we edit wreaths and lighten them and brighten them. You need to go back and look at a couple of those, because the ones that you're doing that on, it's making the outside of your wreath not look like it should. So if that doesn't help you, then actually I've started using some of these apps on my phone to lighten some of my wreaths now, and it's so fast and easy. So I am going to put the list up there of the apps. Susan Williamson, she wanted to do something different. She's got a beach wreath with shells and starfish. That's really pretty too. That will sell this summer. I've got a photo of my book back up here. Y'all, the reviews that I'm getting about that, the ladies that are writing to me, my book is reaching people differently than I ever dreamed that it would. In all of the years that we spent writing it, I was worried about, was I saying too much about our personal lives, our private lives? But the reviews that I'm getting back from people saying, I cried all the way through this. I read it within 24 hours. My husband's reading it now, and he's learning a lot about my condition, and he's learning how to help me and how to be more understanding. And I've ordered 2 or 3 more for my friends. For one lady, this is a dentist. She read it in 24 hours. Her husband's reading it. She's ordered a stack of them to sit in her dentist office so she can give to people that she knows have fibromyalgia. And I know God had a plan the entire time, because I tried to back out of writing that book so many times. And then we would hear a sermon, or we'd read something in a devotional that we just knew God was saying, you have to write that. It has to be out there. So if you have read it or gotten it for a friend, I would appreciate you going into Amazon and leaving some reviews. A lot of people are reading it. They're sending me amazing reviews, but they're not posting them on Amazon, and that will help other ladies find it and read it, ones who might be suffering from fibromyalgia or any other chronic illness. So if you can put your reviews on Amazon where you purchased it, that would be awesome. I appreciate it. Okay, we've got some beautiful wreaths on down, some really pretty ones. I think we've responded to a lot of those. I'm not going to go through any more of those today, but I will look and see if you have any questions. I have to lean in to see it. Isn't that bad? Okay, Lana's, I'm going to put this up on the screen. My question is about an email list. I have yet to build one. I'm always worried I might annoy people with emails. Lana, you've got to keep track of everyone who buys from you. That is very important. If someone's already purchased from you and you're making a different type of wreath, or you've started your next season wreaths, it's not annoying to people. We'll put a list in there of some different email servers that you can use that are either inexpensive or they're free. People opt in to your email list. That means they click on a button and they say that they want your emails. And there's such a thing as this called double opt-ins, which means once they opt in on wherever you have that box that they sign up for your email for, then they get an email and they have to confirm it again. So if they've told you they wanted to get an email from you, and then they receive an email wanting you to confirm it the second time, you're not going to be annoying them by sending them emails. That's really important. Let's see what else there is. I think I've covered all your other questions. Oh, here's one from Bobette. How do I encourage happy Etsy buyers to leave a review? No, they don't do it, do they? They do it on eBay because that is such a big part of selling on eBay, and eBay has made it that way. There's nothing that you can do. You're not supposed to even ask for them to write you a review. Now, when you're shipping out a wreath, you can write up a little something saying, and I use these for a long time and I've run out and I need to print some more. I appreciate your purchase. I know you're going to love this beautiful wreath. If you get a chance, take a picture of it and hang it on your door. I would love to see it. I'd love to use that when I'm writing a newsletter or when I'm writing a post on my Facebook page. As a matter of fact, if you're really happy with that, I would love for you to go into Etsy and just leave me a review. You have to kind of build up to it the way I did just then. And they're still not going to all do it because Etsy does not push that part of it. They just don't, where eBay does. And so when you look at the number of reviews that someone has, they could have sold 5 times more wreaths or more handmade items than that. But the reviews are not going to be the exact number of their sales. Just very tactfully say, put a printed page or a printed card in with their wreath. And just ask them the way I said a minute ago. But still, you're taking a chance. I mean, they may or may not. That's one thing about Etsy that I just, I don't like. Okay. That's all for today. Bernita and I are working really hard to talk to you next Tuesday about Facebook. We're planning for that. I don't know if you know it or not yet, but Bernita is adding new vendors to My Secret Vendors. She's been working really hard. We've worked on getting some new ones and vetting those and making sure that they've got good products at good prices and got a good reputation. And we'll be having a relaunch of My Secret Vendors as soon as all of that is through. But I believe some of the new ones might already be on the Inner Circle Secret Vendors. Just go to nancysinnercircle.com and click on the Secret Vendors. And I think you'll probably already see some of the new ones there. And we're adding some more. Okay. The hammering stopped. I got to go outside and see why they stopped working. They told me they were going to take the day off tomorrow because it's Friday. I said, I don't get Friday off. I want you to be back here. That's my brother-in-law. I can talk to him that way. Anyway, I'm going to go see what they're doing. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll talk to you again next Tuesday. Bye.